This is Spare Parts, your show for all things motorsports. With your hosts, Stephen Cleary, Sean Cavarella, and Taylor Moore.
Hear that music?
Welcome to this episode of Spare Parts. I'm Steven.
I'm Sean.
I guess I'm Taylor.
Yeah, this is a weird one.
Yep.
This is weird.
You know, just change it up every once in a while. Keep it fresh.
We're not
keep
doing
it new.
this ever again.
We
No.
probably will, because I'll get bored of doing it and I'll want to change it up. So,
Okay.
Well, I'll volunteer as tribute for next time. It'll be equally as weird, but it's fine. Nice.
Yep. Sorry, we're in
Okay.
food. My entire schedule has been turned upside down today. So.
yes, you now have a hockey game at 9:30 that he didn't know about. So,
Oh, we
Oh
found
my
out
gosh.
like, I don't know, 3
12
hours
o'clock?
ago.
Yeah.
No, not even. It was
Yeah,
like
3
3:30.
o'clock. Yeah.
So.
Wow.
So have fun with that for you.
Yep. I'm sort of
That'll be a
regretting
fun night.
inhaling a sausage pregame now. So.
Not touching
No,
that
no
one.
one's gonna touch
Not
it.
touching
Okay.
that one.
Okay. No, not touching. Okay, cool.
In honor of Monza next week, it was an Italian sausage. Just kidding. It's just
Oh,
whatever I
yeah.
put out of my freezer.
I mean, that would be a good one for after next weekend when we talk about it.
yeah.
It's okay.
okay.
I'll just have an Italian sausage. You know what? Never mind. I'm not this. You guys just made my head in the gutter, and I'm like,
Yep, we're just gonna move on. So friends, how was your week?
oh, it was good. You guys would be very proud of me. I actually sat through and watched a NASCAR Pinty's race on the weekend, and I didn't complain once. It was actually fun to watch too. They had their elbows out quite a bit, so
Oh, good.
I'm pretty
I'm
sure
glad
they-
you actually watched a NASCAR race, even though it's not a full,
Sweet.
oval one. But you were there and you did your part and you watched. So you know what? Good for
I
you, Taylor.
watched.
You say, do
Pretty
we have
sure-
an
thank
attested
you,
witness
thank you.
to this?
I do.
That's fine.
Because she was marshalling and I was not, so she watched me watch. It was great. But pretty sure they spent 80% of the race under a yellow flag.
Welcome to the Pinty series.
Yep.
Yeah, it was fun to watch because there was lots of clouds of dust. Still wouldn't be my favorite. I prefer the Micra series. That's great.
Okay, the micro series is also like insane.
Oh, it is insane. I totally want to race a Nissan Micra. Do you want to join my team?
Yeah, you know what? I would support this. I would happily buy a micro and just like field that for ourselves.
Amazing.
I would do that. 100%.
We're looking for funding. So if you know anybody who's willing to fund a race team for a Nissan Micra, let me know.
Get me a car and I'll find the funding.
Okay.
Okay. I'll work on it.
And
don't ask out.
and Steven, we know a mechanic, so like
Yep.
Do you think
Will
he'll
he
work
be
on
available?
will he work on volunteer basis?
I mean,
Yeah, this is a volunteer
this-
team.
as long as he gets away from his actual work, yeah, probably.
Ooh, can we just pay him in beer and pizza?
Probably.
I mean, that's how
probably show
90% of our like, friendships transaction works. It's you help
Yep.
me, here's beer and pizza.
And we don't have to pay tax.
Tax?
You don't admit that out loud.
Yeah, that's the quiet part.
What?
You don't have
Oh.
tax fraud. You
Never
don't admit
say
it.
The
the
government's not listening to our podcast.
That's what they
They
want you
will
to
now.
think.
Okay, whatever. Anyway,
So you were at the track this weekend. How was that, Taylor?
it was good. It was a fun time. I was only a spectator this weekend, which I realize sucks. So I'm probably never going to be a spectator again, and I'm only going to marshal from here on out. Well, except for F1. I'll happily spectate F1.
Yeah,
We'll see.
I wouldn't want to trust myself marshalling F1.
No.
We'll see. After a couple of years of doing it like at CTMP, we'll see what happens because I get 2 free tickets for people. So
She still would find a way not to take us. You realize that, Steven?
Or invite us at all.
I invited you.
When?
Hello.
John, did you get an invite for last week?
Dude, I barely remember like 2 days ago, so I'm out of this one.
I literally sent a month ago. I told you guys when the tickets go on sale.
I honestly don't doubt that she did, but I legitimately can't remember.
It's fine.
Yep,
I will find the proof. They're on sale now, I think. They went on sale the last week of August.
Okay, well, we'll figure that out after the show. Anyway,
Getting distracted here.
yes.
Anyway.
Lots
race
of ground
week.
to cover.
Yeah, we have
Wait,
lots
no,
to talk
how are
about.
your weekends? What did you guys do? Anything fun? No?
Really? We're going to bring up my trauma?
Okay, we're not bringing up the trauma part. Not the trauma.
I'll just mention that anyway. Yeah, my cat ran away, so I've had a very, very difficult week of just crying and being sad. I'm hopeful
I'm
she
sorry,
comes
Sean.
back, but at the
I
same
know.
time, it's been almost a
I'm
week.
I'm putting out positive vibes as well.
Yeah, so on that downer of a note, Steven, how was your weekend?
Average at best. I pulled a live and played 54 holes of golf. So, yeah, there. That's
Okay,
that's
you
my
can't say you
weekend.
pulled a live if you didn't get paid millions of dollars to do so.
That's fair, but I wouldn't take millions of dollars from. Actually, you know what? I probably would take millions of dollars from the Saudis.
You would 100% sell your soul.
Yeah. I mean, I watch F1. Yeah, I would.
Exactly. That's
Yeah,
how, like
but-
you would be an excellent FIA president. I'm just saying. That right there
Lots
is
of
the
money,
attitude
yeah.
they need.
Yeah. Yeah, millions of dollars.
Fair
Sure, why
enough.
not?
Where is it coming from? I don't care.
Yeah. How's that different than the attitude you already get from the FIA?
Yeah, I don't know. You're younger.
Facts.
I don't know.
Sure, okay. It resonates better
Yeah, sure,
with
exactly.
the younger crowd, some shit like that.
Yeah, let's go with that. So,
Sure. Okay.
we have a couple races this week. Well, I guess 3 races. F1 Dutch Grand Prix. You have IndyCar in Portland, and you had NASCAR at Darlington. I guess we'll kind of quickly go through these, or anything of note for you guys of these races. Or
Which one do you want to start with?
Anything you want to start with one of them?
Because it's like, well, no, Portland was probably the least dramatic.
Portland
There
was
was
a
a lot of-
very, very simple race.
Yep, there was a lot of drama in the other two. So why don't we get Portland out of the way?
Okay, here's your spark notes for Portland. There was no massive pileup in turn 1, which is a
Shockingly.
first for like 5 years of them racing there. Scott McLaughlin dominated the entire race. Will Power followed him
And-
around the entire time. Scott Dixon started like 16th and came 3rd because he's Scott Dixon.
Shocker.
Because he's Scott Dixon.
So yeah, there
No
wasn't a whole
surprise.
lot. There was not a whole lot there. VK took out Johnson
Oh,
with
why?
a nice hip check.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, going into
But
one,
why?
he just didn't see him and took him out. And then you would expect drama, maybe. He wrecks the guy. No, VK's like, yeah, I'm so sorry. That's my bad. So yeah,
Yeah.
IndyCar guys
it.
being
Okay,
nice
fair.
as always, you know.
As
Well, that's good.
always, yeah. Let's go back like through every single race before this.
Okay, but like the drama in IndyCar is barely any drama. Let's be honest.
That's fair.
That's fair.
So yeah, now you have basically the finale for IndyCar set up. And I guess we'll go over this in the or the last section of our episode today, which is our like predictions and betting area and stuff like that, you know. So we'll talk about that at the end, but then you basically just have 3 guys now for the championship. I think you have 6 mathematically in it. It'll be a miracle for some of them.
You just say you got 4 technically, or
Is it
5. 5 really.
Yeah. But
Five-
it's
five-
really 3.
Yeah. It's 5
Okay.
5 guys with a 41 point spread. So mathematically it's still really possible for one of those if
Yeah.
the top 3 call out.
The top 3 are within
But-
20 points, so that's a lot
Yeah.
closer.
Erickson and
that's pretty
McLaughlin
close.
need a lot of help and to
Yeah.
do really well.
They do.
So-
Okay.
But double
Yeah.
points. So
No, there is no double points. The finale of this
I
year
thought
is
there
not
was.
double points. No, they dropped
I
that.
thought there was. Okay. No, never mind. They're fucked.
I was seeing that, yeah, so.
Yep. Never mind. They're fucked.
Yep. Yeah, I can't remember when they dropped it, but yeah, they were talking the broadcast, like watching the IndyCar one, about like, oh yeah, you can get maximum of 53 points on a week, except the only time we do double points is Indy 500. I'm like, huh. I thought you still did it on the finale.
Yep.
Personally, I actually don't mind them not doing it in the finale.
No.
So,
You should
Agreed.
just do that for every race.
yes.
Just make them all worth the same. Don't know why Indy 500 is so special. Well, Indy 500 is a special race, but realistically, doesn't need double points.
Yeah.
No, that's that's an off-season
Debate.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an off-season debate, which will be soon, unfortunately.
Yeah, McLaughlin
That's
did all
scary.
he had to do, which is win a race, but the guys chasing him, or the guys he's chasing, were chasing him the whole time, so he's looking on the outside looking into. So not a whole lot to talk there for IndyCar. Honestly, it was probably the more boring race of the weekend, which is unlike IndyCar.
Yeah, I was gonna say that is kind of unlike IndyCar. They mostly have like, I mean, there's been quite a bit of drama, I would say, coming from races, only from like the aspect of like incidents on track and drama between drivers. So, I mean, I guess it's nice that they had like a quieter race.
Yeah.
Can we say that?
Was it the finale is this weekend? So, let's see what happens. Last year was pretty spicy because pretty sure Grosjean decided just to launch himself off everyone going into the corkscrew. So, you know, let's see what
Oh
happens.
boy.
I guess NASCAR next. Cover NASCAR.
Yeah. NASCAR was fun.
NASCAR was fun. You had a lot of guys who are in the playoffs, have terrible days.
Yep.
And then a non-playoff driver won.
Yeah, because the Toyotas just decided to blow up with like 30 to go.
I saw a great meme that was the from Cars 2 with the gun in the, or like the laser thingy in the camera. It's like
Yeah.
Rick Hendrick after Chase Elliott crashes and he just starts blowing up the Toyotas. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it was a bit of a mess for the playoff drivers. You had, who was it? I'm trying to remember the order of this. You had Chase Elliott just lose it in I think 3.
Yep.
He collected Briscoe, and Briscoe like broke Elliott's right rear toe
Suspension.
link or something.
Yeah. Something in the geometry in the
Yep.
back.
Yeah, his car was crab walking, so not great. That also took out Briscoe, who was also in the playoffs. Who else? You had
Harvick blew up.
Harvick's car blew up and
Oh my
then
gosh.
was spontaneously combusting all over the place. That was a bit of a freak show to watch.
Truex was also on pace to win.
Truex not in playoffs, but with how his season's gone,
Yep.
would have been nice to get a win. His luck, his run of bad luck continued because he blew up with 33 laps left or something like that and went behind the wall from the lead. That sucks. Kyle Busch took the lead. His engine blew up under safety or under caution with 27 laps left, blew up from the lead and behind the wall. See you later. Crowd loved that. So, it was a bit of a shit show.
Also, you had a lot of guys running up front by the end who kind of shouldn't have been there.
Yeah, because it was just an absolute shit show at the end. It was a fun end of the race to watch.
Yeah, like you had Bubba up there, Brad Keselowski, Michael McDowell, guys who were not in the playoffs, all running top 10.
Yeah.
So, and Eric
This
Almirola was 11th.
Yeah.
That one pissed me off. I had money in him top 10.
Oh no.
It's okay. I actually did good in betting this week, but we can talk about that after.
Good job. Good
I
job,
know.
Sean. Yeah. But you didn't have money on Eric Jones winning.
No, I didn't, and I don't think
That's
anyone did.
unfortunate.
Because where did that one come from?
Well, it came from, again, the Toyotas blowing up because Truex looked very strong late in the race. Denny Hamlin sort of fucked his strategy up by going half of one way, half of another, because they originally were going to say, we're going to run it long and hope for a caution, which they got. The problem is, about 5 laps into we're going to run it long, they said, we're going to pit.
Yeah, you can't half-ass one or the other when it comes to strategy.
Yeah, because even if the caution came out like a lap later, that would have been great. But they sort of got impatient after the 5th lap and said, "Yeah, we'll pit." And then I think it was like another 10 laps later they got their caution. But then everyone came in for fresh tires, including Hamlin. So which sucks because he had a strong car too. He was really making up ground during a lot of the longer runs. But Eric Jones had an amazing pit stop on that last caution to get him out in front, and then got lucky with the Kyle Busch blow up, so that put him into the net lead. It was very entertaining.
Yeah, it was a pretty good race.
Yeah, and that was also, I think, the 43 cars 200th win, I believe.
Nice.
So
Darlington has become a pretty good track.
Yeah,
it's having some good results the last few years.
What was the other stat? It was like the 43's first win since like 1967, so 55 years.
Oh, wow.
Huh, a win since 67. Who would have thought?
Yeah, it's a sign.
Oh my gosh. Steven, no, it's not a sign. No, that's like
okay.
Sean having hope for Aston Martin.
It might rain this weekend.
Oh my!
I'm joking.
No.
I'm joking.
No, it might actually rain this weekend, though.
I know, but every single time that, like, I know that Sean is mostly joking, but like, there's like a part of me that's like, is he serious? You'll can't tell.
No.
Do we know? Yes, no.
It'll be the time when I don't bet on them when they do well, like, most times.
That's actually.
Yeah.
Why do you think Aston Martin have been in the points the last few races? Guess who's not betting on them? This guy.
Your family is cursed for sports.
Yep, pretty much for everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, back to NASCAR. Great race. Playoffs are intriguing because now who's on the bubble here? You got Cindric, Dillon, Briscoe, and Harvick.
Guys. Yeah, you've Harvick, Briscoe, Dillon, and Cindric, who are all outside right now. However, 15 points the other way, you have Chastain, Elliott, Bowman, Busch, Suarez. 2 races to go. You could see a big fluctuation there of who's in and who's out. And especially some big names there who could be out, such as Elliott. Maybe Kyle Busch, but he hasn't had a good season anyway. I would love to see Kyle Busch win the championship and then leave because he doesn't have a seat.
That would be hilarious.
Oh, that's right.
He's gonna have to dig deep for 2 races, or just win one of the next 2, which
I think he'll make it to the next round, but we'll see what happens after that.
Yeah.
So F1 now.
Really sort of screwed him. So
yeah, Harvick is done. I don't think Harvick comes back unless he wins.
Yeah.
So the Orange Grand Prix.
Oh boy. Yeah. So many things came out of this weekend.
I'll be honest, Zandvoort's a shitty track.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's not my favorite track on the schedule, to be honest. I think it's okay. But like I think the banking, cuz like a lot of people get excited about the banking at the track, but it doesn't necessarily provide like good racing. Like it's meh at best.
There's no place to actually pass.
Yeah, so do we yeah. I mean, we can talk about like how Zandvoort's a crappy track, but like
I mean,
this whole weekend got frustrating. You know what I mean? Like this whole weekend was just frustrating in terms of the Dutch Grand Prix.
I just want to say, first off, I'll just say Zandvoort is just fast Monaco. That's it.
That's fair. That's a fair
Bit of a train. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a train. You can't pass, and you end up with half the field a lap down.
Yeah, most of passing happens in the pit lanes, like just strategy wise.
Yeah. So anyway, what was your frustrations this week, Taylor?
Okay, actually, it wasn't Ferrari based. Part of it was Ferrari based, but a lot of it
was the Ferrari. Was it Lewis being mad? Like we have a whole lot of things that check your boxes of being pissed off.
No, actually, this time around was the fans. Was the biggest thing, and actually, like also like F1 social media and just the way that sports social media handles things as well. So, I mean, with the whole flares thing, like there was a fan that threw a flare on the track that stopped the session for qualifying for quite a bit.
Did you see
Yes.
they found out who it is?
Oh, did they?
Yeah, it wasn't just
Yeah,
a fan,
no, no.
apparently.
Oh, wasn't it somebody from like the actual track like administration too?
It was
Oh,
a security guard.
Okay.
Hmm.
Here's the
That's
thing.
just flashbacks to our trip to Indy.
So stupid is stupid. You can't fix stupid.
Yeah.
You can't fix stupid, unfortunately. So, but like I understand the whole like the ban, like the track ban, and like the FIA was banning flares.
Oh,
or
great job!
fans
They did a
bringing
great job with
flares.
that. Clearly.
Yeah, clearly,
Mhm.
because there were so many. But like, I just wish people would, like, I understand stupid is stupid, but also just like be respectful. Like, we're all like, there's still problems with, especially female fans at these tracks. Like, they're getting harassed. Like, people are becoming aggressive and abrasive in terms of like the actual like spectators at the track, and that's not okay. Like, we cannot have that.
It's too rowdy.
It's way too rowdy, and I don't want to say that it's a certain crowd that tends to be that, but unfortunately these like the Orange Army dominant tracks, it seems like we're getting a lot of problems with the actual like crowds in those events. Like the same thing happened in Austria.
I think at this point Taylor is just a Dutch hater.
Mhm.
I'm not a Dutch hater.
I know. I'm just bugging you.
Ugh, whatever.
No,
But
but you
it
bring
just
you bring
seems
up a really
like-
good point. You know, like it seems the Dutch fans who are very passionate, who bring the flares, who do all that. But also it seems that within these fans, because again, it's not all fans, it's not all that.
No,
But
it's not all
there
fans.
is a sect of, I don't know if it's just because they drink too much or because they just are maybe 20-something-year-old pieces of shit that don't respect people. I don't know. But if you're at a track and you see any of that shit going down, 100% people should be calling it out or bringing attention to it or just clocking someone in the face. This is a reminder that we do not
I
condone
agree.
violence here at Spare Parts Racing.
Yes, we do not condone violence. We are very anti-violent fans.
Unless they deserve it.
Yeah, no, get
Yeah.
violent in that case.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah.
violent against violence.
The
But
fan,
I'm
like,
at the
'cause-
point.
No, go on.
I'm at the point now where I'm beginning to wonder, because it seems to be a trend with these like Orange Army dominant tracks. Is there a responsibility for Verstappen to come out and maybe address it in a more direct way? Because I'm not saying it's all of his fans or, whatever. But, if we're going to have these races like in these like Red Bull prominent areas, but like most of Orange Army is in support of Max. Like, they're not there for Sergio. And those fans seem to be super chill. Like the Mexican ones, super chill. You see them, they're all decked out. They're just like having a good time.
Just gonna take that out of context and clip it.
Okay. Just clip it.
You
Might
don't
not
want
come
that.
out very well.
No, it will not.
Don't want that. It didn't come out very well.
But yeah, like
But like,
I think you
You
bring
know
up a
what I
good point, because yeah, if these fans are, the Max supporters and stuff, maybe he should make a statement kind of like, yo, you can have fun, settle the fuck down. Especially
Yeah.
like, okay, we've known about like, the harassment and stuff that's actually been going on for quite a bit this year. Multiple reports, and every single week. I'm happy that people are getting called out for it. I'm not happy it's still happening. But anyway, the flare on
agreed.
the flare on the track and like that kind of stuff is some of the stupidest thing ever. Like there is a general, I don't know, not giving a fuck for like the other competitors. Like it's just generally disrespectful, I feel, to the other cars on track. Especially like, oh, Max
Yeah,
wins, let's set
agreed.
off all our flares. Okay, but now cars are still racing around this track, and now there's smoke everywhere.
no one can see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I get it,
I think-
but at the same time, I do feel like, yeah, banning flares, I think might be the way going forward.
I agree, totally agree. And I think security needs to be a little tighter on that front. If you're going to do a ban, actually police it. I will say that this is an issue. Like when I was at Montreal, the security is trash. They'll just ask you, "Do you have any alcohol?" You just have
Yeah,
to say
the
no.
security
They
was
don't really
trash
seem
in
to beg.
Toronto.
for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's on the honor system. It is unfortunate, but that's how it is.
It should be like if you are going to have security at an event, like you need to make sure that they're top notch and actually going to do their jobs to ensure not only the safety of the fans, but the safety of the drivers on track as well. Because it's not safe for them to be driving through like a bunch of smoke that they can't see.
Especially at a high speed
just-
track like Zandvoort with
Like Zandvoort.
very little runoff. And
Mhm.
yeah, I do see the FIA having to make a move there and possibly banning it.
Yeah.
So besides that issue of fans, I have another issue of fans to bring up.
Oh boy.
Okay.
That's the conspiracy theory for the F1 race this week that Red Bull rigged it so that Max could win.
Obviously.
This is the most ridiculous thing I've heard. Like stop. And first, numero uno. Yuki's the safety car that came out after Yuki was not the safety car that affected the end of the race.
Yes.
Period.
Yeah. No. Yeah. You're 100%
There-
right.
There's no conspiracy. Because that's what people are complaining about. No? The
Yeah.
safety car, but they're saying Red Bull rigged it. How did Red Bull rig it if it was Bottas that was the one that caused it?
See, again, this is people think that because they had the Red Bull strategist. I can't remember her name.
Honor Schmitz?
Is that her name?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because she was smiling on the pit box when it happened. So, women smiling obviously means something went wrong. If it was Horner smiling, I don't think anyone would have thought anything. But
No, because it's Horner. He's like always smiling.
yeah. And let's go over the actual incident itself. Okay, Yuki pits, he comes out. He says, okay, I think the wheel's not attached because he's feeling something weird in the rear. Makes sense. Totally natural. He pulls off to the side, undoes his belts, and then is going to hop out. Team tells him, no, nothing's wrong. Wheels are all fit. Come back around. He goes back around slowly. At this point, if he's undone his belts, he should have hopped out of that car right there. But anyway, he did get a reprimand for that. And I think he actually has to get a penalty at Monza because of the reprimand or something. He has a penalty of some kind.
It's a safety penalty.
Yeah.
We saw Charles get it 2 years ago.
Yeah. So anyway, he drives back around, gets his belts done. They send him back out. Still feels the issue because it's not an actual issue in the tire. It's in the suspension. His differential is broken.
They did a tire change as well. Just throwing that in there.
Yeah.
So the wheels were definitely tight.
Yeah. It was the differential in the car that broke. It was the rear diff. I think it was left rear diff. So he had to pull over.
Yep.
Yeah. If it was a conspiracy, why would you go back around or do something like that? No, you're going to just pull over and stop wherever the hell.
But they
So-
didn't get a safety car the first time. That's why they sent him back out.
Because if he actually stepped out the first time, he would have been even more of a safety car chance because there wasn't even an outpost there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, Lewis fans are at it again, making conspiracies out of things that don't exist.
I mean, did it fuck over Lewis? 100%. Was he looking strong to compete against Max at the end? Yes. Was the race stolen? No. I don't even think if Lewis caught him that he would have been able to pass him and Max wouldn't have been able to take a pit stop and even come back at him.
Yep.
No, the decision, where Lewis lost the race was when he remained on mediums. That's what happened. It was a bad call out of the Mercedes garage. It happens.
I feel like I've seen this before. I didn't like the ending. Where Lewis stays on mediums. Yes, that was a Taylor Swift reference. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
So yeah,
I'm here all week.
Lewis screwed himself by staying out, but at the same time, that's the right call to make. And Russell made his own call by switching for softs.
Yeah, and
team
it
wasn't
ended up
gonna do
working
that.
out.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it happens. Sometimes you get unlucky. Sometimes calls don't go your way. Oh, well, that's the nature of the game.
Yeah, team strategy was wrong. Your teammate benefited by making his own strategy call.
Mhm.
The one thing I do love what he did though was when he drove beside Latifi, telling him to like hurry up and move forward before he pit.
Yeah.
Because obviously, like being his teammates, they probably are at least on somewhat good terms.
Yep.
So Latifi was like, "Oh yeah, I'll help you out," and went up and had a clean pit stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, Lewis got screwed. Unfortunately, it happens. Russell made the right call. Max ran away with it. And Leclerc was there for third. Oh, wait. He wasn't.
Yeah.
Was he? Was Leclerc third?
Yeah, he was third.
Yes,
Okay.
Leclerc was third. He did get a podium.
Sorry, I'm just used to Ferrari fucking up. I wasn't sure if he was on the podium or not.
Yeah, no, it was the other Ferrari.
They both fuck up.
No, but this week it was just the other one.
That whole Ferrari pit stop fiasco was hilarious.
Yes. No, I do love
BRB, just gonna cry forever.
It wasn't even a missing tire. It was literally just the rear left tire runner
Was standing at the front.
At the front right. Because that they showed the first time they showed the replay, it was like, oh, there's just a guy missing. And then when you watch it from inside the, I guess, Red Bull pit stall, that camera angle out to the Ferrari, you see a guy run out to the front right of the car. Then you see another guy run out to the front right of the car. They throw that wheel on, and it's like, so what's the other guy doing?
Well, the reason that happened is because they were not ready when he came in.
No.
So they just scrambled to get out, and by the time the guy with the tire got out, the car was already there. So he had to figure out, okay, which way do I go around?
Yep.
And he was dumb by not going around the long way, and he went around the other way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And then had to sort of do the awkward shuffle past everybody. Excuse me, sorry. Part.
It's just Ferrari being Ferrari. It's just add it to the list.
Yep.
The incompetency is unreal. Like, obviously there was a communication failure for that to happen. Like, the pit, like when you're pitting your car, the team needs to be ready. Like, you shouldn't be communicating box without the team being ready to go for that car to come in. So I don't know what's going on in the Ferrari like garage or what is happening, but people need to be fired. Something needs to be restructured. I don't care what happens. Binotto, hope he gets shot into the sun at this point. But it's becoming unbearable to watch.
I think it's fun.
I think you got to make the change has to start with the strategists because they have zero clue and zero confidence in what they do.
The change has to come with the pit box as a whole.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I think that's where you start.
But they also, like, the problem also, too, is who is leading them. Like, Binotto is not, I don't think, good enough or reliable enough to be leading this team successfully. And it's going down through the ranks. Unfortunately, like, things can be very top down, and if you don't have good structured leadership, things are going to fail throughout the different ranks of the garage. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of the issues come with with the fact that Binotto actually doesn't see that anything needs to change. Like, he's said that in interviews.
So
how? Don't understand.
I'll say this about Ferrari, and then we can move on to the one last thing to talk about before we go into like our silly season talk. Ferrari right now. Okay, Ferrari under Arrivabene.
Yep.
That was a team, and like you felt that Arrivabene was a grease monkey. That's a team that was dedicated to racing. They didn't always win, but they were there and they were trying to win. Ferrari now seems to be focusing too much on being a good marketing brand.
Yeah.
You know, they're all doing like everyone has to look nice, everything, and it goes back to like Drive to Survive when you had it with the 2 seasons ago with like when you had like in the meetings like with Leclerc and Vettel, and they're like, yeah, make sure the mask isn't upside down, so the logo's right set up, like everything has to look Ferrari.
Yeah.
And then even like Drive to Survive last season where they only spoke Italian. You don't have to do that. You know, Ferrari is too focused on being the brand and not about being a racing team. And I think that's what's ultimately screwing them over. Is it a board issue? Is it just a team issue? I don't know. But I feel the culture there has changed in the last 5 years to not being a solely racing focused, and it's more racing seems to be the side project.
That's pretty fair.
That being said, Gunter for Ferrari, please.
Yes. Oh god, that'd be amazing.
You know he
Please.
would that team would win so fast.
Two
Oh,
experiments we can
100%.
do. Two experiments we can do. We can split this 4 and 4 because there's 8 races left. We can put Gunther in for 4 races, preferably the last 4. And for the next 4 races, we do the idea from last week where we just put in a potato. I just want to see how the potato does.
I wish we could make this happen.
It'd be fun.
Anyway, before we move on to silly season, just one more thing I wanted to mention, and that's some Canadian racing stuff this weekend happened. That
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, I just want to shout out like my 2 favorite Canadian drivers right now. First one being Parker Thompson winning in the Porsche Carrera Cup in Indianapolis. You know, good for him in that one. And the other one was Matt Clark winning. So Matt Clark is a USF Juniors driver. I think he's 18. You know, he got a chance to debut in USF 2000 with D-Force Racing this week. You know, hasn't driven the series, hasn't competed against these guys. First race he comes 4th. Second race he wins.
Out of how many?
I can't remember how many is on the grid.
It's like 12.
20
I
something.
think, right?
No, it's more than
Or-
that.
Is it 20?
Yeah, the
Oh,
USF 2000
geez.
grid's pretty big.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I thought it was smaller.
wins in his debut for USF 2000. And I just think that guy has a very strong chance of winning the championship in that next year because he's already, I'm pretty sure, won the USF Juniors for this year.
Well, let's slide the point scale and we'll get him into F1.
Okay, so we're going right for that then, Steven, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Why
So,
not?
F1 silly season. And I guess at this point, IndyCar silly season. Because it
Yep,
seems to
they're-
all be wrapped up.
They're one and
Yep.
the same at this point.
Not if you ask super license points.
Yes.
So,
God.
we had a decision on Alpine and Oscar Piastri and McLaren.
Mhm.
The decision was that Oscar Piastri is signing his contract with McLaren is the real one. Just because you write "this is legal" at the top, Alpine, does not mean it's a legal document. You fucking
Especially-
idiots.
Especially if you forge it after the fact and it's very easily pointed out by anyone who has seen a legal document.
Yikes.
Alpine's defense was fucking terrible.
Yep. Oh, God.
It's a whole yikes, honestly.
Alpine imploding on themselves and their own drivers, I think, is funny.
It's hilarious.
Now that we have that driver signed, that leaves now a seat at Alpine. Ricardo is a free agent because he got bought out by McLaren.
Yeah.
Which even funnier part of that is in the whole thing, we know Piastri was signed on the 4th of July,
Yep.
the day after Silverstone.
Yep. And
Yeah.
Ricardo put out a thing on July 13th or something like that. He put out his post of, "Yeah, I'm here to do well with McLaren. It hasn't been great, but we're committed to doing better." Oh, that's a week
Yep.
after they signed another guy. Shit.
Um,
Oh, this is awkward.
Ricardo got screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, 100%.
very much so.
So, McLaren's in my shit list for next
Yep.
season. Like,
The evil empire.
yeah. I'm not a big fan of Piastri. I feel like, you know, burning bridges before you're even in the sport is kind of arrogant.
A little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, this kind of, to be honest, it would be par for the course with the young guns right now. A lot of them, I feel, have this like entitlement attitude. Not sure why.
I mean, probably because
that's just the
it took
feeling I'm
so
getting.
much money to get there, but
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
so that's the
but
thing
it's
with
just like-
like Piastri, right? Is Alpine basically paid for his entire development, gave him
Mhm.
everything, and he's like, "Okay, see ya."
Yep.
yeah,
burn that
screw
bridge.
you.
Though again, at the time in July, he had no idea what the hell was going to happen.
No, and to be fair, like at that point, it was, "Hey, we will give you a seat in F1 guaranteed next year. because
No.
Alonso wasn't moving.
That wasn't the McLaren deal,
Was it?
though. McLaren's contract
he
with
was-
him is a 2-year deal. So it's for next year and 2024 in case they couldn't buy out Ricciardo.
Okay.
So in case they couldn't buy out Ricciardo, they had Piastri like, okay, you will be our driver next year. We have Ricciardo on a 1 year, and then you're going to take over the next.
Yeah, but that was his most direct path at that point either
Yeah.
way, because Alonso wasn't leaving and he still had a multi-year, I think, right? And Ocon's not going anywhere. He's still only, 26? So it's not like he's aging out. So he took the most direct path, and part of me doesn't blame him for it.
Yeah, I agree.
You will
Part
be
of me
you will
thinks
be
he
in
made-
F1 in the next 2 years.
Yeah, he made
Guaranteed.
his choice for himself to get into F1 ASAP.
Yeah. Is
Yeah.
it still a bit of a dick move?
Yeah.
Yes.
Does it make a lot of people on the grid really hate McLaren? Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Will Drive to Survive be spicy as hell? Also, yes.
Mhm.
And also, apparently, after this Piastri thing happened, McLaren all of a sudden wants to now possibly help Palou pay off so he can join McLaren, assuming in the IndyCar team. So that situation, I feel, is going to all end up in McLaren's way. It's just going to cost them money, and at the end of the day, it's nothing.
Well, at this point, yeah, they're just throwing money around like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Money doesn't grow on trees unless you're McLaren.
At the end of the day, it's only money.
Yeah,
It's not like it's real stuff.
yeah, exactly.
Fine. They just have to. They had to put off all the money that they got selling off their building.
Ooh, that's a deep cut. I like that, Taylor. So, moving on from, I guess, that situation, we now have the who's going to Alpine situation, which seems to be a front runner is Gasly,
Somehow.
Do it.
including with like the leaked audio of him being like, "Oh, I'm working out the final details of my contract."
Yep.
Would be interesting to see like how Gasly and Ocon would be as teammates, considering that they hate each other. But we'll see.
Again, this could blow up huge in Alpine's face.
It could.
Yeah.
It very much could.
Going with the all French route. It's a bold choice.
Yeah. So, I mean, it works
I mean,
for their,
we
it works for their
we just
marketing.
talked about, yeah, well, but we just
Mhm.
talked about,
Focusing
Ferrari being
too much in the marketing.
way too much, being way too Italian. So, despite neither of their drivers being Italian, but
No, the
Yeah, but
French,
I
the
really-
French are really good, just in reverse. Thank you. It's a
well done.
retreating joke. Thank you.
Yeah, well done.
Well done.
Too bad we don't. Too bad we don't race backwards.
Ah,
Well-
that's fair.
They could. That'd be one way to take out the competition. It's like 6-year-old me playing NASCAR, but
I used to love doing that as a kid.
losing
what I
the
did.
race, turn around.
Yeah, losing to my dad. Okay, fine. You're asking for it.
Where is he?
Where is he? Just watching the map, guessing a line. Yeah,
Yep.
watching his screen. But yeah, so Gasly looks like the front runner of Alpine. It's that or Schumacher, I think.
Well,
But-
so Ocon said he wanted Schumacher.
Which
Right,
makes
or
sense
sorta.
because Schumacher is friends with Ocon and Stroll. Like that's their little
Mhm.
cohort, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And it probably, for him, he's probably sitting there thinking, yeah, Mick's not as big a threat right now I will get preferential treatment. If Gasly comes in, he's very similar in terms of quality.
So Gasly looks like it's going to be a done deal. And then the spicy bit of news now is AlphaTauri wants Colton Herta for that seat.
Who doesn't have the super license points.
And they're apparently fighting to get him those points.
Why? I don't know, but whatever. I really don't think that he deserves it, but sure.
Okay,
Why
I
not?
got two questions in the Colton Herta thing for you, too. First question is, would you want to see Herta in F1?
No.
Kind of. It'd be
No.
interesting.
I'd say yes. I think it'd be fun to have him in F1.
Yeah.
The other question is, do you think they'll let him race with not having the super license points?
Also,
Probably
no.
not.
I don't think they will.
No.
I think that this interest, like, sure, whatever. I understand the whole like American and F1 thing, but one, I think that there's, just wait your turn for a better driver to come up who actually deserves a seat in F1 because I don't think Herta deserves it. I don't think he's good enough to be in F1.
I think he's fast enough. I don't think he's consistent enough.
There you go.
But that's the thing though. Like I don't think he has the understanding for like actually driving a car on the edge of the limit but not driving over. He consistently drives over the limit. Consistently. He'll have a couple good races throughout the season and then everybody starts on the Herta train again saying, "Oh, he's so great. He's so great." I don't see any championships to his name. He's got wins.
And that's kind of the debate.
No
He has wins, he's fast, but he can't make a championship.
No, he's not consistent enough. So what's like I really don't understand what the draw is for them to want to get an exemption for a super license. So
American. And again, it's all about the branding, right? Back to this. All about the branding.
Okay,
Do
do not
brand.
please.
Okay, so that's gonna be that's the title for this episode. It's all about the branding.
Yep.
Right? So
Then it becomes too much like NASCAR.
welcome to motorsports.
Yeah.
It's all about the money.
Money makes the world go round.
But this is the issue with the Herta thing, is that it's getting an American into F1, yes. It's possibly grooming the next person to replace Perez. Makes sense. But he doesn't have the super license points. Does he deserve to be an F1, like have a super license? Probably. He's pretty good. He's a good driver. The bigger issue here, I think, is that super license limit and how it just shits on IndyCar.
Yep.
True, I agree with that. Like, I think that there should be an easier way for them to move between the series. I don't think, there are plenty of drivers who I think deserve to be in F1 who are currently driving in IndyCar. I think Pelot's a good example of that. I would have loved to have seen him make the move to F1.
Exactly, but Pelot now has a super license. But like, look at a guy like Callum Ilott, right? He wins F2, has a super license, in theory is one of your drivers that you would use as a measuring stick against others. You put him in IndyCar, and he is, where is he in the points? 20th.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's his first year.
No, agreed.
Driving
100%.
a
Agreed.
totally different car.
But then, let's look at the F2 right now. Who is 6th in the F2 standings? F2 standings. Sorry, I'm just going to pull it up here. Yeah, this is not planned. The guy who is 6th is Liam Lawson.
That's 5th.
5th? Maybe my thing's old.
Yeah.
He was 6th right now.
Iwaza.
No idea who that is. Let's even go look at 7th with Enzo Fittipaldi. So you're telling me Enzo Fittipaldi deserves more than Pato O'Ward, who is 7th in IndyCar? Because the way the point system works is Fittipaldi gets more super license points than O'Ward for finishing 7th. One is a pro series, the other is a feeder series. The FIA, I think, should take IndyCar off its super license, and if you're racing a pro series, you can get an exception. Maybe if you're above the age of above the age of 19 or 20 or something, you can just get a super license if you've proven to be a top level driver in a pro series like IndyCar.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
I think the issue is the European exceptionalism and the stick to our ladder. You can't be in yours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
but
a
then
good
we're
point.
gonna we're gonna force people out because they win and do too well,
and then they join IndyCar anyway.
Yeah, because where else are they gonna go?
Formula E, maybe WEC in a couple years with all the manufacturers. There's going to be a lot of good places for young drivers to go.
For sure. I just think that but I do agree with you. Like, I think that the FIA needs to make it a little bit easier for good, really talented, good drivers to be able to move a little bit more freely between series. Like, I don't think
Yeah.
it's fair that most of these drivers are coming up only through the Formula Series. Like, there's so many good ones out there. I just wish that it wasn't Colton Herta that they're seeking to bring into F1, because I think that there are other far more deserving drivers who are a lot more consistent, like O'Ward, like Pillow, that actually deserve to be there, rather than Colton Herta, who's probably got a lot of financial backing behind him, being the main reason why they're looking for an exception for him. I just don't like. I would see his first season in F1 probably consistently 19 or 20.
Probably, yeah.
And I think it would just be disappointing. It would just suck to watch, because for me, I'd be watching that being like, that could be somebody who could actually be contributing to F1 as a series, rather than someone who's just riding the bottom because they paid their way in and they don't deserve to be there.
But Herta wouldn't be paying his way in. He's not bringing a sponsorship. He's there because he is talented. They're going to be paying him to bring him over. But
True, but I just don't think he's talented enough to be there. Like, I just don't see that he's the best example.
I think he's talented
He's not
be
the
there.
hill.
I just don't think he's the best driver
He's-
that could make
he's
the
not-
move.
He's not the hill we should be dying on,
That's also fair.
Yes,
right? Like,
exactly.
At the end of the day, I honestly hope he doesn't get it, and I hope Mick Schumacher moves into that seat. I'd rather see
Agreed.
Mick stay in F1 than Herta join F1.
Yeah, exactly.
and
That
all
being
of these problems
said,
could just be fixed with an 11th team.
If it's a Herta Schumacher swap, whoops, hit the mic. If they swap for next season, Schumacher and IndyCar, Herta to F1, I'm also here for that.
That would be interesting.
Be interesting, I guess. No, still on the no. I'm on the no on that one.
Schumacher
Interesting
somehow
idea.
Schumacher wins the Indy 500,
That would be
That'd
hilarious.
be great. What a story.
wins the championship, then goes back over, joins some other team, joins Aston Martin. I don't know.
Joins Mercedes.
Oh God, Hamilton retires. Mick comes over. Oh God. Would be interesting.
It's out in the world now, so
So yeah. At the end of the day, I hope Mick gets that seat. I don't hope it's Herta. I like Herta. I like him in IndyCar. I want to see him win the IndyCar championship first before he makes a jump to F1.
Exactly.
And also, I hate the point system for the super license. So
you should be able to fix that just a little bit.
I guess before we go, we'll do our betting and predictions for the weekend.
Okay. Yeah, we got
Okay, sounds
we
good.
got three races again this weekend. Oh God.
Okay, but so what do you want to cover? Do you want to each take a different one, or do you want to kind of spitball here? What do you want to do, Steven?
Sure.
I don't know. Do Laguna Seca first. Do the one that's ending. the
Okay, let's
championship.
go IndyCar champion. Do you want to go race winner, or do you want to go just who is the champion?
Both. Do both.
I will
Why
go
not?
because this has been my ride or die all season
Yeah, it's going
for
Joseph
champion.
Newgarden.
Joseph Newgarden.
All right,
Who is
fair enough.
currently
I like it.
503 points, 20 behind Will Power for first.
That being said, I think
I'm-
who is going to win the race? Marcus Ericsson.
Like
So
it.
you're betting on Newgarden like top 5, basically.
I'm expecting Newgarden podium, and
Okay.
maybe someone else like that does well getting up there. But you saw the advantage that Penske had at Portland, and they just tested there. The same day they tested at Portland, Ganassi went and tested at Laguna Seca. So I expect Ganassi to be fast.
Okay.
And I can't predict Dixon to win, because that means then Newgarden can't win the championship. So I'm going to go Ericsson wins, Newgarden second.
Nice.
And
Okay.
Newgarden wins.
So congrats to not Newgarden making podium and Ericsson not winning, because Sean has now jinxed you. Good job, Sean.
It's all part of the plan.
Well, I'll try and balance out that energy. And my ride or die for this whole season was Marcus Ericsson. So I'm going to predict Ericsson as champion. I know it's unlikely.
Needs a lot
and
of
that he
help.
wins. He might need a lot of help,
Needs
but
a
that's
lot
okay.
of help.
Needs the top 3 to basically just wreck out
Cool. I'm going to predict that.
and beat McLaughlin.
Yeah, you see Grosjean come in. I came in like a wrecking ball.
No, that's possible.
Come on, Grosjean.
see-
I've supported
no.
you all season. Let's go.
But no, Grosjean's thing has been going around the outside, so I don't think he's going to be taking anybody out unless he randomly decides to stuff it up the inside this time.
I mean, the corkscrew, the inside becomes the outside, or the outside becomes the inside.
That's
so-
fair. That's fair. That would be a good spot to
So-
take out three cars. Whoops.
What are you thinking here, Steven?
Dixon for both.
You coward. Taking the
What?
easiest choice.
He's proven once again that he is ageless.
I mean, it is a good pick.
Yeah.
No
Like-
one thinks Power can hold on to this also.
Yeah. Where does he need? So
Basically a
where
top
the-
5.
Just needs a top 5. Yeah. See that. It's got me thinking too now.
Here's my thing though. Bad
That's-
luck hasn't really fallen him this year. You know?
Yep. Yeah, I'll stick with it. Dixon just magically gets it done every time, so
Yeah.
because
Where is it?
he needs. Yeah, he needs to be top 3 to guarantee, I think. Right? Yeah, top 3 to guarantee. Top 3 to guarantee.
If Power's top 3, no matter what he wins.
Yep.
Newgarden
After
needs
that,
to
it
finish
depends.
first.
Both Newgarden and Dixon have the same win conditions because there's no way they can tie.
Do they have the same amount of wins in the year?
Well, they have the same amount of points. There's no way they can tie.
True. Very, very true.
Both at 503 right now, so
It'll be a fun championship finale. I look forward
Mhm.
to watching that one.
that'll be good.
Let's go F1 this weekend.
Well, Ferrari's gotten off to a flying start with the truck breaking down, so maybe they can do something with their bad luck out of the way.
I mean, maybe it's all part of the plan.
Yep.
If you break down before you're at the track, you won't break down on the track. Unless you're a fan, then you do just break down on the track.
Yep.
Sorry, Taylor.
Oh.
All right. So what are we predicting?
To win outright, Verstappen is a minus 275.
Jesus.
Of course. Okay, so race winner,
Max. Easy one.
Leclerc.
Wow. Okay, at plus 600 odds, great thing to take. However, sides at plus 2,500, even better to take. And if you want to bet on this race, bet Sainz, because those are good odds. That being said,
now he's gonna lose.
no, the best odds to actually bet for is Paris, because
Yeah.
the Red Bulls are fast as hell.
Yep.
And if
True.
Max has somewhat bad luck happen to him, Paris will be there.
True.
And Paris is plus 1,200, so
There you go.
Stroll plus 10,000 or 100,000. Let's go.
No. It's
No,
Is it still predicted to rain?
I have no idea. It's too far out, I think.
So is that your
It was supposed to
your
rain.
prediction, Sean?
I will
Stroll?
bet. I'll go Sergio Perez.
Okay, right on.
I will think something happens to Max finally.
Yeah, I said that this weekend, and then I still bet him to be fastest qualifier, fastest lap, and winner, and I got money for it, so I'll stick with it.
Yeah, I'll probably bet that one too, to be honest.
So
It's only a plus 200 for that for Max, which is absolutely insane. Ugh.
Yeah.
However,
Well,
the
I mean-
Italian Grand Prix has given us bullshit races the last 3 years. Right?
mainly sunny on Sunday.
Womp
So-
womp. So for the Italian
Chance of
Grand,
shadow.
for the Italian Grand Prix, and this is why maybe Max won't win, is that we have had ridiculous races since what, 2019?
Yep.
19 was Leclerc with Ferrari finally winning. Then you had 2020, Gasly winning. 2021, Ricciardo winning. The last time Red Bull has won here is actually 2013. So they might
Perfect time to do it.
They might be due for a win. If not, then yeah, I would probably pick maybe like an Alpine to win. Maybe Ocon somehow wins.
No, what? No, it's all about speed, straight line. Who's done really well there lately? Williams.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna bet.
Oh my gosh.
I am betting Albon to be in Q3.
All right, fair enough. That's safe.
Fine.
Also, we know how qualifying goes at Monza.
Yep. He'll be out there early. He's not at risk.
Yeah. So yeah. Anything else to finish off with?
Are we gonna do NASCAR for Kansas, or
If you want, we can go NASCAR quickly. Who do you think's gonna win?
Taylor, kick it. I think Taylor should kick it off.
I don't know. Bush. Kyle Bush?
Yeah, okay, good answer. That works.
Pick the right Bush.
I'll go the other Kyle. I'll go Larson.
Okay.
He made the the Xfinity race a really fun ending too with Sheldon Creed.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Yeah,
that was a bit of a spicy ending.
That was a good one.
I'm gonna say there's gonna be some shenanigans and Harvick somehow pulls off a win.
Fuck off! You already predicted him.
Complete...
You predicted him to not even make the cut.
Yes, but now I'm going to safety myself.
Coward.
I'm right.
Okay. Well, if that's our predictions and that's all we got this week, thank you very much for listening to this episode. I don't really have anything else in terms of outro. We've covered everything from NASCAR, from IndyCar to F1. And we'll be back next week to do it all again. And until then, goodbye.
Thanks for listening to Spare Parts. Remember to follow the show on Twitter at sparepartspod and the hosts at Stephen Clary, at Sean Cavarella, and at Tate Moore.